What if your fatigue, your pain, your gut issues, your foggy brain weren't problems you need to fix, but more messages from your soul that are sharing with you that you have red flags going on in your body that are trying to get your attention so that you can connect to that part of you, you can heal that part of you, you can clear what's blocking the energy within your body so you can really embody the higher light, the higher love through this ascension process that you're going through so you can fully come into alignment with vitality, health, wellness, your well-being, and truly live the version of you that came here to be, do, and have all of the greatness. In case we haven't met, my name is Dr. Harmony, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when all my videos and content come live. For the last 30 years, I've been helping people make the connection mind, body, soul, spirit. In the last 10 years, more heart, and going through the ascension process to help them elevate and clear out the limitations that are blocking them from connecting to and embodying their light. And so in today, what we're going to do is we're going to go through part 3 of the Embodied Ascension, where I'm going to dive into some of the symptoms you might be having and let you understand what it might really be trying to tell you. Because your spirit already knows, but your body's just trying to catch up to that frequency and to get in alignment with the reality that you are choosing and desiring to live, that you need to embody it first before you can have it in your reality. So I don't know about you, but I grew up as a very unhealthy child. I had a lot of ear infections. I was constantly pumped with a lot of antibiotics, so my personal immune system was compromised. And at the age of 15, I had mono. So I was constantly living and didn't even know what it was like to feel good energy. And I was always depleted, I think, because, our nutrition, my parents tried to be more vegetarian, but they weren't educated vegetarians. So I feel like looking back, I was probably missing certain minerals and different nutrients that I needed to give me energy and to boost my vitality. So I used to have this vision that I was the little child that was always sick all the time and had to stay inside while all the friends were out playing. And I would go look out the window and have this idea that all my friends are playing, but I don't feel like going out. And that was a vision I really had as an adult, but I looked back at it as my childhood. And they'd have these commercials where you wake up all bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, look like you're all put together. You go open the window and stretch and yawn and then go get your coffee, right? Which is actually a pick-me-up that can actually cause you to crash after the caffeine high. But that being said, the image it portrayed from a standpoint of the vision of just you wake up and you should be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, that was something that was not me. And so I worked really hard to think about, okay, how could I wake up and feel good and feel energized and feel vital? And I have to tell you, until I went through this ascension process and cleared out all of the debris that's been stuck in my energetic and my nervous system and purged things out of my body from even a karmic standpoint, which left me in a state of being exhausted and never knowing if I would ever feel energetic or, have vitality to begin with. Even though I have this vision of a life I want to live with all the mission and the purpose and the travels and the cool and fun things, we can have that vision, but if you don't feel like doing it, then you're not living your fullest. You're not living your best life. And then over the last 10 years, I've been constantly cleansing, trying to heal, do more activations, do more detoxes, see this healer, do that next thing. But the more I really tried to think I was going to fix something or fix myself, the more my body really pushed back and said, no, you need to listen to me, not trying to you be the fixer of thinking you know what it needs and not willing to listen to what the body's trying to tell you. So it wasn't until I started really listening, not just clearing, that everything started to change. And now what I've been trying to do over the last 10 years is help people really begin to heal through this process of ascension. But we've all ascended to some degree and went through some of it where we're still exhausted, but we haven't fully healed the body. And that's why I've been trying to help people interpret the body's messages like a sacred text, so to speak, so you can really identify this with the symptoms and recognize it is soul signals or red flags, not fully setbacks in your journey, but it's something your body's asking for. It's something you need to plug the leaks, to really come home to your own ability to feel vital. So the first symptom your soul may be screaming to you is fatigue and feeling flat and no energy, not having enough energy to do the things you want to do, but then pushing through the things you don't necessarily even want to do. And you begin to overextend yourself, and energetically you might be saying yes yourself. Then on the flip side, your soul is really screaming for some rest, or to say no, or to just have some downtime. Allow your body to go into a silence mode. Allow it to fully rest in your body. And we talked about this in a couple of the other episodes that I've done on this series, that it's kind of like you might be being chased like a wild tiger, and your body is still responding as if that tiger's chasing you, even though the tiger is gone. So one of the things that's often associated with this is the sacral chakra depletion, which is affected through your adrenal burnout. And I've talked to you about adrenal burnout and the importance of boosting your adrenal glands so that you can actually begin to heal the source problem. That through this process of just being completely burnt out on every level, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically, obviously, you've depleted all those chemicals and hormones and the things that keep your body regulated. And your adrenal system is one of the major systems that regulates everything else in your body. So it's so important, if you're feeling fatigue, you might be wanting some adrenal support so that you can boost those adrenals, which I always say takes about 3 to 4 months. And so one of the things I've talked to you all about that is so important, if you've not already done so, I have a free tool and assessment that you can now take that will help you map out what your body's needing from a cellular level, and give you other tips, tools, and techniques that you can use at home to help boost these things within yourself that you're needing. One of the things in that is B12. That's a big one that most people are deplete, especially after going through certain things. And another thing that I used to recommend for my clients years ago was licorice root. The licorice root can really help bring balance to your adrenal system, to help support that and help bring balance so that it has the support and your adrenals aren't constantly functioning, that's causing the depletion, which is causing the burnout, which is creating the fatigue. So if you've not done that free assessment, make sure to check out the link below. So that can really help you support that within your body so that your body has what it needs to plug the leaks and will help you through this process to gain more energy. And another thing that's really good for that is ginseng. Ginseng is also really good for energy. On the Panax, ginseng is one that I used to always recommend for my patients whenever I was practicing as a chiropractor. And they come in little vials, and it's a liquid. And so basically you put a little straw in it, and you kind of call it like a shot, and you suck that straw and you take the liquid, and it helps give you a really good boost, because sometimes when you take a pill, it has to break down to get into your system. So this is a faster way to get it into your system, into your bloodstream. In addition to that, you really want a high quality supplement, because some of the supplements, the way they're produced, they add fillers in there and they use a lot of heat to process them, and that basically denatures the value of the supplement you're taking. And some of the fillers can be worse for you than not taking the supplement to begin with. So the second symptom is digestive issues, and especially bloating. And so, when you're going through life and you're trying to digest life, so your digestion is a reflection of your ability to digest what you're going through in life. And if you're holding on to unprocessed emotions, then that slows down your digestion on one end to be able to digest the food. But on the other end, it uses up your enzymes because your body is constantly stimulated as if you need to be in digestion mode. So you burn out your digestive enzymes. And so one of the things I usually recommend for that is digestive enzymes. Now, if you don't have enough digestive enzymes, that overloads the pancreas. And then the pancreas has to make more pancreatic enzymes to make up what the digestive enzymes aren't doing. And that's also why people talk about chew your food for 20 minutes when you're eating, because that naturally produces some of the enzymes that's needed to help break your food down in even the saliva before it gets into the stomach and the abdomen and the intestines. So issues with your stomach is often associated with solar plexus blockages, which means you could have unexpressed anger or control issues. And that's why a lot of people with stomach issues get a pain right in their solar plexus area, right in the center of their abdomen, just below the rib cage. And in that place, That's why a lot of people also can get ulcers and things like that, because they have a lot of anger, which is causing the stomach to constantly have to go through the process of this digestion. And then again, it depletes your digestive enzymes. So the third symptom is throat tightness, coughing, or tension. So if you're very tense and you're holding in a lot of negative energy, or you're anxious and you feel yourself tensing up, that then puts a strain on your throat. And as it puts a strain on your throat, if you really listen to people sometimes talk, it sounds like their throat is strained. And it sounds like they have something going on with potentially a cough or a cold, or things that they get raspy voice, those sorts of things. So some of you may have heard me talk about this whenever I had COVID, and I lost my voice for 4 months. And in that time frame, then what happened is my throat would come and go, and it was in my larynx, and it was not just in the sore throat like your tonsils. It was really deep into the deep throat area. And so as I was going through the process of healing that, my voice actually started changing, and it would come and go for like a year and a half. And if I was inflamed, or if I felt tense, or if I was going through something that was stressful, my voice would actually basically just stop working, or felt really sore in there. Now I have to tell you this, because what happened in this process is that I felt like I was also learning to find my voice in a new way. Even through the journey of that, people started telling me that knew me that my voice sounded different than it used to. In fact, if you go back to some of my older videos here on YouTube, way in the early days, you're going to notice the difference of my voice there and my voice here. But the other thing about my voice is the delivery of it, the confidence in it, the ability to speak from a place of truth and in our heart. And what happens is, if you're not speaking your truth, then your throat will automatically shut down through your throat chakra, because you're suppressing the emotions and you're over explaining things to people, or you're fearful of conflict. So you kind of just constrict your emotions or what you want to say. That affects your throat chakra, and then that is a form of self-silencing. So one of the things that can really help you with that is to activate through sound, and doing different ah meditations, or om, or any kind of mantra that gets a sound in frequency inside of your voice box to keep the energy moving. But on the flip side of that, if your body is depleted and you're in a suppressed state, then that compromises your immune system, which can always affect the throat. And the throat is a representation of, like, if you ever notice, if you're really tired, you're not sleeping, you're traveling, you're fatigued and tired, not getting rest, and next thing you know, you got a sore throat, or you can feel it in your throat. So one of the things you can also do with that is also gargle with salt water as well. And as I mentioned, you can do some of the ohms, ah, different types of mantras that create vibration and frequency in your throat. But it's really important to boost your immune system through different antioxidants, and as well as keeping the inflammation down in your body, to keep your voice in a place of its fullest ability to feel clear. That being said, if you're not speaking your truth, you need to also do that. You need to look at, where am I not speaking my truth, and how can I show up in a place of speaking my truth from my heart with confidence, so that I can come into this sense of owning my voice, which I recently just did in the last few days. Of been saying, it's like I had to find my voice again, because I felt like I lost my voice in some ways growing up, because it's like my voice didn't matter. So I just suppressed and didn't speak my truth. But I've always had this desire to be a singer and to be able to express myself. And I got challenged just a couple days ago about doing a karaoke song. And, the version of me is like, I don't do karaoke, but then I was also challenged. So I did. And let me tell you, like, the channel opened up, and I've always wanted to sing, and like, I nailed it. And what's funny is I didn't even know I could. But on the flip side, I had people coming up after and was like, oh my gosh, you smoked that song. And granted, I was doing a duo with someone. But that being said, I was shocked at how my voice really opened up. And the book I'm writing about finding my voice, or about ways to find your voice, and about when I lost my voice when I had COVID, literally while I was rewriting that experience, I lost my voice for a few days ago. And then, like, this song, the singing came through to like really open up the pipes. And it's like, oh my gosh, it really opened all of my voice box up, it feels like. And I'm really super excited about it because I don't know where that's going. So the fourth symptom is having neck and shoulder pain. Now, what tends to happen is when you carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, you've even heard that, and it's really truth to that. It means you're carrying too much responsibility. You're taking on too much that you shouldn't really have to be owning, that might be somebody else's, that you're trying to help them, but it's really theirs to fix the problem, but you are the rescuer, or you're the fixer. You're resistant to asking for help. All of those things can cause you to tense up, and the anxiety and the tension of like it accumulates. So while, for instance, if you're burnout, you're fatigued, and then you're, straining your voice, and then, next thing you know, that tension is also carrying the tension in your neck and shoulders, which will cause neck and shoulder pain. So the neck and shoulder is associated with the heart chakra and some of the throat energy as well, as I mentioned. But what you really need to learn to do is speak your burdens aloud. But in addition to that, from a physical standpoint, your body has a memory, and it's remembering to stay tight, to stay tense, and to hold everything in. And a lot of that's because you're holding your breath when you do that. So deep breath, deep breathing will really help open up those channels and get relaxation into your shoulders and your neck. But in addition to that, a lot of people are magnesium deplete, because they're muscle spasm. It's constantly in spasm. So it's burning up all your magnesium, and you don't have enough magnesium in your body to create muscle relaxation no matter how hard you try. And obviously you can get a massage, and the massage helps. But at the cellular level, if you're magnesium deplete, you can get a massage, you can do the breath work, you can do all these things, but until you get some magnesium in your body, you may not be able to fully allow those muscles to relax. Plus, if you take the magnesium at night, it not only helps you relax at night, it helps relax your colon and your digestive tract, which will help you actually have better stools, more movement in the flow of your digestion, so that you're not constantly backed up in that area. So I think one of the biggest keys here is your body's sacred. You only have one temple, you only get one body. And if it burns out, you're not able to get a new heart, right? You're not able to get, new kidneys, or, we can get transplants, but, and you might even get that. But even back to that, you only have one brain. You can't do a brain transplant. It's kind of the same idea. So you need to take care of it on a level that is sacred, and that it doesn't want you to betray it, and you need to not betray it, and you need to put yourself first in these areas. And it wants to lead you back to yourself, to carry that light, to carry your energy, to make you feel abundant, to make you feel strong and healthy through even exercises and mobility. So if you're feeling off, and you're feeling inflamed, and you feel like something's always chasing you energetically, and you're tense, or you're always chasing the healing, the next thing, and it's not working, and it's kind of, you're going in cycles with it, it's because your body's probably depleted something, and you're not giving it what it needs, and it's trying to speak to you through the soul connection of your body, of the mechanism that tells us what we need if you just listen. So I encourage you to take that free assessment today for the wellness assessment, and it will, again, direct you on what your body's deplete and what you need, and give you tools, tips, and resources of things you can even do at home to help support your physical state. So you don't need to decode it all alone, basically. You just need to get quiet, and you need to ask better questions, and you need to be open to receiving something that maybe is something you've missed or not realized, that it's coming from something deeper within the cellular level, not just another spiritual clearing. If this video spoke to your soul, please share in the comments. I would love to hear what you're going through right now, what your body's telling you. And if you take the test, let me know what support it has given you. And make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. This is part 3 of the Embodied Ascension series I'm doing. You won't want to miss the next ones that are coming up. Because in the next episode, we're going to talk about nervous system healing and why your body might be blocking the abundance, the joy, the manifestation. Even if your mind is aligned to all those things, your body may not be. So you're not behind, you're just becoming, and your body knows the way. So I'll see you then. Have a great week.
I get up, time is